Hi and welcome to the second part. The first part is all about my macro outlook, and here this is about my chart analysis on a few of the products that I trade. So before I do that, just the legend so you know exactly what's there. So the black numbers are going to be support and resistance levels based on trend lines. Pink numbers are going to be breakout levels. And claret numbers, they're just going to be horizontal levels where I've identified support or resistance, generally based on double or triple tops or bottoms. So let's start with the Dow. So obviously the Dow and the S&P had a good week last week, as you can see from that. So on the daily, the Dow daily, I've got resistance at 43,583. Then I've got support at 42,227 and 41,940. So, you know, I mean, the election's just around the corner now, coming up towards the end of the year. Managers will be keen to keep these sort of prices going until early next year, I guess. So the S&P daily, so I've got resistance at 59.30, support at 58.76, lower down at 57.24, and then lower down again at 55.83. You know, it is getting harder to find those resistance levels just because it keeps making new highs. As you can see from the Nasdaq, it still hasn't got back to that July high of 21,240-ish. But I've got resistance now at 20,739 and 20,581, with support at 20,323 and also at 20,005. So again, you know, tech was just not quite so positive last week. There was some good and bad results coming through. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of currencies. So here's the pound against the dollar. The pound had a reasonable week. The dollar started a bit stronger, then just sort of faded towards the end of the week. And yeah, so obviously it's away from the highs now, those 134s. It came down. I put the fibs on for this one actually. Now we can see that it sort of easily broke the 382 level. Then it sort of got a little bit sticky around about the 50 level. Then it broke down. It looked as though it was going to go and test the golden ratio. The buying came in just that little bit earlier and prevented it. And it's closed pretty much borderline with the 50. So remember, as long as it stays above that green line, the 618, then it's just a retracement. If it breaks below there, importantly it closes below there, then, you know, just be a little bit careful because it could go from being a retracement to a reversal. So I've got resistance at 133.56. I got support at 129.73. On the downside for a breakout, if it breaks through that golden ratio and it closes below there, then for me, you know, at 129.54, I would see that as a breakout on the downside. And then, as I say, it goes from being a potential just retracement to being a reversal. But, you know, let's wait and see because it's lots to happen yet. And on the upside, I've got another breakout, which is at 131.72. Moving on to the euro against the dollar. Okay, it sort of recovered just very, very slightly on Friday, but it didn't have a good week. Again, expectations that they're going to have to, the ECB is going to have to cut rates a bit more aggressively because the European economy is not in a good place. So I've got resistance at 108.96. I've got support at 108.29. Lower down at 107.65, if there is a bit of a rally in the euro, then I've got a breakout at 109.84. Then just look at that Bitcoin back up there again, a bit of Trump fever, a little bit around regulation, more and more buyers coming in for the ETF, so it's a big combination of things, but another strong day on Friday. So I've got resistance at 70,710. I've got resistance at 69,290. I've got support at 59,413. And then I've just put in a breakout level. If it does have a bit of a sell-off, then if I saw it go through 64,945, then I would consider that the rally is over and it's going to have a bit more of a test to the downside. Just remember, this is always just my personal view and the way that I read charts. Moving on to gold, and wow, yeah, up she goes. Okay, so I've got resistance at 27.37, I got support at 26.36 and also at 26.05. Again, closed pretty much at the contract highs on Friday. Remember, this is all futures based. I trade the futures more than CFDs. But you can adjust it, but trends are the trends. And so that's sort of the levels that I'm looking at going into Monday. And last but not least, here is WTI. It's definitely not having the same luck as gold on the upside. So here it's come under more pressure. Perhaps, investors, traders are thinking a little bit less about what's going on in the Middle East and a little bit more about what's going on with supply and demand again. So we saw that under pressure all week and again on Friday. Below 70, I'm interested. I'm looking potentially to buy some call options if it sort of gets a bit lower. That gives me the right to be long, but again, I can run them. I haven't got to micromanage the risk, so buying call options is going to be my play at some stage. Again, not recommendations. You have to make your own minds up on these markets. I'm just trying to help and give you some insight into what I see going on. Okay, so I've got resistance at 75.45. Then sort of 69.08 is a bit pivotal. It closed just below there, but it's a matter of which way it goes. So I've managed to draw that support line. Will it be support? Will it actually be resistance? And then below that, I've got support at 68.14 and 66.95. Okay, so that pretty much sums up my analysis for another week. And yeah, listen, have a great week. There's another couple of slides to come. But if you can't analyze these markets as well, and you'd like a bit more insight, I do use other charts as well. It's not all candlesticks, but because most traders use candlesticks, I tend to use that for these demonstrations to give you a bit of insight. But I use 2 other charts and 2 or 3 indicators as well in my trading during the week. So the best of luck. Please listen to the next couple of slides, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a great week. So, just a little heads up on my services. So I offer a daily newsletter that includes global news, headlines, my views. That's a subscription service. I also offer one-day workshops. This helps you to discover if trading could be your next career or maybe just a secondary income. But the one thing is, because I offer a variety of them, is I can also just fill in any gaps that you may have with your current trading, or whether it's macro or actual trading skills. And then I offer a 1-week intensive course. That's going to make you feel confident and competent after just 1 week. And that's going to basically give you the foundations on which to build your trading career. I'm going to help you find that inner trader, and that also now includes a free trading challenge. And then there's my Flexi Masterclass. That's 6 weeks of guided learning, but you can spread them out. You don't have to take them all at once, and that does help to accelerate the learning curve. And that's designed to provide you with all the knowledge and trading tools that you're going to need to navigate these markets, and any asset class, whether it's financial, commodity, digital, I'm involved in them all. And as I say, the weeks can be spread out there, and that also includes a free trading challenge. Trader mentoring, so maybe you've already got some experience but you're looking to get to that next level and you're struggling to do that. I offer mentoring by the hour, by the day, or a monthly subscription. It's entirely up to you, but I just want to help you guys to reach that next level time and again. And of course I provide lots of trader educational content, not just to individuals but also to exchanges and brokers. And if you're looking for that funded trading account, so you don't have to risk your capital, then contact me for details. I've got 2 good ones that I use. Okay, so finally, as usual, just ending with a disclaimer. So, if you're already involved, then you'll know this. If not, then please take serious note of this, that trading does involve the risk of loss of capital and it's not suitable for everyone. However, I do hope it is for you. And now, because there's leverage involved from many companies, just be careful because you can lose substantially more than that initial investment. The regulators are a bit more on top of that these days, but even so, just be a bit cautious. Everything that I include in these just purely for educational purposes. I'm not trying to encourage you to trade or invest. That must be your decision. And of course, before you make that decision, you've got to consider the risks involved. And that includes your financial situation, definitely your level of experience, definitely your risk appetite, and of course, only risk capital you're prepared, but more importantly, that you can afford to lose. And if you've got any doubts whatsoever, first of all, think twice before you do it. Speak to a financial advisor. And do that before you risk your capital. I have so many people come to me because they've lost money. I'd rather they come to me and learn how to do it and not lost the money in the first place, because that's just a waste of their savings. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these, and I'll be doing these on a weekly basis. So I'm going to post the links in places so that you can get to them. My new website will be finished soon, but in the meantime, you can reach me at the email address below on all the slides, which is chrisjtubby55@gmail.com. And all I can say is I wish you a wonderful week. Best of luck with your trading, and hope to see you again next weekend. Bye for now.